Barcelona is a big, bustling city, and one of the most convenient ways of seeing the major sights is to take the bus touristique. The best place to join the bus is the centrally located Plaza de Catalunya, which links the old town with the new extension laid out in the 19th century following the demolition of the medieval city walls. Let's take a few minutes to look around this big, open space. For a moderate cost, you can buy a hop-on, hop-off ticket lasting 24 hours and covering 3 different routes. But for only a very small extra charge, you can buy a 2-day ticket. Tickets can be bought on the bus or at a discount at the Tourist Information Centre in the Plaza de Catalunya. The first stop on the red route is at Casa Batlló, built by Antoni Gaudí, the world-famous architect, between 1904 and 1906. Next is La Pedrera, another Gaudí masterpiece on which he stamps the movement of waves on the imposing stone facade. Each wrought iron balcony is different from all the others. Gaudí's most famous work, the Sagrada Familia, is the only cathedral in the world which is still under construction. When he died in 1926, only one of the towers had been completed. A couple of stops further on is Park Güell, originally planned by Gaudí as a residential garden city in the English style. The plan was unsuccessful and only one show house was built. Eventually the park was donated to the municipal council and is enjoyed by many thousands of visitors to Barcelona each year. From the top of the park there are panoramic views over the city and the Mediterranean beyond. Passing the monastery of Pedralb, we come to the Royal Palace, built in 1924 for King Alfonso XIII. 2 bus routes meet at Francesc Macià, a square named after the former president of the Catalan government. It's one of the city's most elegant shopping and business areas. The red route returns directly to Plaza Catalunya, while the blue route goes on to the Plaza d'Espanya. The 2 Venetian towers mark the entrance to the International Exhibition Centre. In the middle of the square is a monumental fountain by Jujol, an associate of Gaudí. Climbing the hill of Montjuic Park, the bus comes to the National Museum of Catalonia Art, which was built in 1929 for the International Exhibition. Passing the Spanish village and the imposing white structure of the communications tower, the bus comes to the main site of the 1992 Olympic Games. Here one can visit the refurbished stadium, which hosted the opening and closing ceremonies of the Games and the athletics competitions. The bus then heads back downhill to the port area and the Columbus Monument. Here one can visit the Maritime Museum or take the lift to the top of the monument. An absolute must is to walk up La Rambla, Barcelona's landmark boulevard. Along its length one can see street entertainers, artists, cafes and restaurants, a market and stalls selling flowers, live animals and birds. The far end of La Rambla is at Plaza Catalunya, where the bus tour started. Back at the port is a marina, a shopping complex, and the Catalunya Historic Museum. Here also can be found the city beach. Here one can switch to the green route, which runs back and forth along the seafront. Back on the blue route, the next stop is at the Parc de la Ciutadella, which stands on the site of a military fortress and was built for the Universal Exhibition of 1888. In the park is a large conservatory with many varieties of tropical plants. There are also sculptures, a large fountain and a boating lake. The park is the site of the Catalan Parliament. From here it's a short distance to the Gothic quarter, which was built on the old Roman town. In the square in front of the cathedral there's a regular flea market. From here the bus goes back to Plaza Catalunya. After a few days in the big city, you may like to take the train down the coast to the smaller town of Tarragona. The main town stands on a cliff above the beach. One of the main attractions is the old Roman amphitheatre, which is in a remarkable state of preservation. A flight of steps leads up to Tarragona's own Rambla, which, as you can see, is much quieter than the one in Barcelona. In the heart of the old town is the renowned Gothic facade of the Romanesque cathedral. The cathedral stands in a small square where you can buy postcards and souvenirs. Parts of the cathedral date from the 12th century, and the cloisters surround a small orange grove. Narrow alleys lead from the cathedral into open areas with outside cafes and restaurants. Here stand the ruins of the old Roman Forum. Crossing another large square, you come to the fortified stronghold of the Provincial Forum. Heading back to the sea, you can take one of the boats which sail from Tarragona to the various resorts further down the coast. Typical of these is Salou, which is very popular with the boating fraternity. Passengers leave the ferry at the marina. From here it's a pleasant walk along the promenade into the town, passing fountains and gardens on the way. For the less energetic, there's always the little train. The really energetic can join in the fun run. Just behind the railway station stands the old fort, which is called the Torre Vella. In front of this ancient building stands a very modern sculpture. The main beach area can be very busy, with lots of activities going on. However, there are several much quieter beaches nearby, where you can write your postcards home.